Hi everyone, welcome back to Brookdale Farm. Today we're out seeding peas. Now these are a field pea, they're a dun pea. The variety we are seeding today is Kaspa. These are a really high protein stock feed. I think you can eat them if you want to, but they're not actually rated for human consumption, but they're really good for putting weight onto sheep, cows, horses, any of your stock. They will put a lot of weight on very quickly. We also use them sometimes for older animals that are just losing weight. A friend of mine had a pet sheep that was, I think, almost 20 years old and was on its last legs. And we started feeding it peas and it picked up amazingly and lived for a few more years after that. So the first thing we need to do is our spraying. Now we're going out with our Roundup and our ammonium sulfate crystals, but we've got a little bit of a different pre-emergent that we're using this time. This one's called Reflex, and it works, well, it is used a bit differently to any of the other ones that I've so far talked about. This one we are putting out at 750 mils before seeding, so now with our knockdown, but we are going to come back and put another 500 mils down after seeding but before germination. So we'll hopefully get that done this afternoon, depending on weather and everything else. But yeah, we need 2 applications of this, and this works really well for radish, or it did last year. This paddock here, I know I've got a major radish problem with, so I hope that the Reflex is going to work as well this year as it did last year. So I'm going to mix these up now and do a bit of spraying. Unfortunately today we have far from ideal spraying conditions. It's a bit cloudy and overcast and a bit cold. The knockdown spray always works best if you can put it on when the plants are actively growing, so with some nice bright sunshine and the weather being a little bit warmer, but we've got to go ahead and get this done today anyway. For those of you who have been watching me for a while now, this brings us back to the beginning of the cycle on the farm again. My first video last year was seeding peas, so I've been doing this for a year now. Thanks to all of my subscribers, and thanks to everybody who leaves comments. I do read them all and I try to get back to as many of you as I possibly can. But I'm interested to know what you would like to see over this coming year. I will be showing all the normal things again on the farm that we get up to. I've got a few interesting projects coming up that we're going to be looking at. But yeah, let me know in the comments what else you might like to see this year, what you would like to see in a bit more detail. And I will try and do a video on all of those, on anything that you would like to see. Anyway, it's time to get back to seeding. Next, we've got to fill up our seeder with our pea seed. So we've got the auger set up here. We've got our cleaned pea seed in the chaser bin here. With any legume seed, so this is peas, lupins, lucerne alfalfa, all of those sort of things, chickpeas, anything that will fix nitrogen into the soil, we need to inoculate the seed first. Now this puts a coating on the seed to allow the nitrogen fixing bacteria, or to help seed the nitrogen fixing bacteria. So we've got this packet here of Nodulade. There's 2 different types of products you can use. This is a peat based inoculant, and we put this on the seed as a coating. Now this is a bit more fiddly to use, There is also a granular product that you can top dress onto the field, the paddock afterwards. I believe that this one is superior to the other one. This one's just a lot more mucking around to use. So this is a peat inoculant, and it has the nodule forming bacteria in here. So what we need to do is mix this with 5 litres of cool, clean water. So this is a group E inoculant for peas. Most legumes have a different inoculant, different group of inoculant. So if we look in here, we can sort of see it's a black sticky stuff. This is one of the easier ones to use of this variety. Some of the other ones need other things mixed in with them as well. So we've got to put it into the water here. Make sure we get it all out of the water, out of the bag. Then we just want to give it a bit of a stir to make sure that we've mixed up all the nodulate into the water. And we need to leave it sit for about 15 minutes, mixing it occasionally. They also say that you should keep this out of direct sunlight because the sunlight breaks down the bacteria in it. So I normally just chuck a bag or something over the bucket just to keep the light off it. This is quite lumpy, so if you've got a pair of gloves, put them on, get your hands in there and break up all the lumps in there and make sure it's mixed through really well. Anyway, we're just going to let that sit for a bit and we'll get back and start filling up the seeder in a minute. Okay, so we've mixed this up and we're ready to start mixing it with our pea seed now. Now, one of the best ways to coat your seed is as the seed's coming out of here and going up the auger, just use a little jug with some of the mixture in it, and we're just going to pour it in as it's going up the auger. The auger does a really good job of coating the seed nice and evenly. Don't ever fill your seeder up and then pour this stuff into your seeder. It flows straight through the seed down to the bottom and forms a sticky mess and blocks everything up. I've done that before, and it took a lot of mucking around to clear everything out. If you don't have an auger, the other way that we always used to do this was put down a tarpaulin in a 6x4 trailer. So I think a 6x4 trailer holds about half a ton of pea seed. So fill it up as much as you can, pour a little bit of this in at a time, and then mix it round with a shovel. Don't pour the whole lot in, because once again it'll go down to the bottom and it'll make it much harder to coat your seed. So just pour a little bit in, mix it round for a bit, pour a bit more in, and that's really effective too. Alright, I'm going to start everything up now and we'll start filling up the seeder. Okay, so here in my hand we can see a bundle of uncoated peas. These ones down here are the coated ones, and you can see we've got a nice coating of the inoculant on them. You can see a little bit coming off on my fingers. They're a little bit damp, they're a little bit black. That's the way they should look. So we're pretty much ready now to head out and start seeding. Okay, so we've finished planting our peas, and I'm sorry about the wind noise in the back of this video. The last thing we've got to do is put down our pre-emergent post-sowing. So after we've seeded but before it comes up, spray. So this is Reflex we're using again here, but just at 500 millilitres a hectare. So we've got about 8 hectares we're doing right now. So we need 4 litres of Reflex. Now the other thing that we're going to be doing, this is the only time that I put down an insecticide as a matter of course. Now we have bad problems with red-legged earth mite, and they eat the peas off as they are germinating. They eat the little tip, the bud off, and it just kills the peas. So I always put down a spray for red-legged earth mite. This goes out at a really low rate of 50 to 150 millilitres per hectare. So we want about 400 millilitres, just under half a litre for our 8 hectares. And with this we have to use an oil to help it penetrate. So we're using enhanced oil at 100 I think about 100 millilitres per 100 litres of water. So I'm going to mix all of this up now, and we're going to go and finish off our spraying, and that is the end of our actual seeding program for this year. We've obviously got more spraying and things to do as the weeds come up, but it will be really nice to be done with the seeding part of the year. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I hope to see you again next time. Thanks, bye.